Welcome back to another episode of The Canon. Today we got Spider-Man news, Justice League news, and Star Wars news. Stick around. So for our first news, J.J. Abrams, director of The Force Awakens, had an interview in which he was asked about Rey's parents. In the interview, he said that those parents weren't revealed in episode 7 and that he won't spoil it because that is for Rian Johnson to reveal in his movie. So Sal, what do you think about the thought that Rey's parents weren't in episode 7?
Well, now it only confirms that she might be a Kenobi, I think. I mean, the Kenobi's voice was in there, but that doesn't really count.
Whose theory was that, by the way?
Was that yours?
I believe it was.
Right,
Just saying.
And if Matthew Vary's watching, he's a true believer in the Kenobi theory too.
Good.
But yeah, it's interesting what he said. I know you told me there was some more news that came out recently too that kind of backtracks that. But I'll let you take that on. Yeah, I'm not sure how surprised we're gonna be with the reveal of her parents, because if it's no one that we know, then it's gonna be like, oh, it's just someone new. But if it's like Kenobi, if it's the theories everyone's coming up, because in this day and age you can't really surprise people, I feel like, too much. So I don't know how surprised I'll be. Well, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Abrams kind of backtracked. So first of all, looking at his comments to begin with, he said we didn't see her parents in episode 7. Mm-hmm. And so immediately the Skywalker theory, both Skywalkers, whether Leia or Luke's daughter, those kind of went out the window because a lot of people thought either she was Luke's daughter or she was Kylo Ren's sister. Mm-hmm. So those kind of went out the window. And then he said that's for Ryan to, do, which Rian Johnson is directing episode 8 because there's a different director for episode 9. So that tells you two things. It's not a Skywalker or Solo as the parents, and it tells you that we'll find out in episode 8. Then he went back and was like, to clarify my comments, I meant that her parents weren't revealed in episode 7. Not to say that they aren't in there already. So I'm like, no, that's back. He's backpedaling. And I think he was just kind of caught in the moment of being truthful. Yeah. And then he was like, oh, crap. Disney probably... Hey, Abrams. He needs to do an interview. So he kind of backpedaled on that. Like I said, all along, I thought she was Kenobi. I just thought, like, the Luke Skywalker stuff was just too obvious, to make her a Skywalker. And... so for me, I'm like, okay, I think it's going to either be someone completely new or a Kenobi thing because of British accent and all that. Yeah. So we don't know, but I feel comfortable in saying, like, yes, he pretty much told us it's not a Skywalker.
Yeah, so he effed up.
Yeah. We'll have to wait to episode 8. What if they go back and just change it now?
Like the whole script.
It's like script. Ryan reshoot it.
Star Wars is delayed until 2019.
Oh my. 19. Yeah. 18. We'd love to see the revolt on that. All right. So for our next topic, we already had J. Jonah Jameson himself ripped from the Spider-Man movie and put into the Justice League movie. J.K. Simmons is playing Commissioner Gordon. Now we got Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, William Dafoe is now casted in the Justice League movie as a person we don't know yet, but they just said he's a good guy, and he'll be in both parts. So how do you feel about adding Dafoe?
Well, you were talking about it last week, I think, or a couple weeks ago, how this is like the seasons of snatching up all these Oscar-nominated or worthy actors between Marvel and DC and Fox too. So this is just kind of to reiterate that. Thank you very much, Terry, for having phone. This is just kind of reiterating that in terms of Willem Dafoe is, one of the most historical actors of any generation, I think. I actually don't know what he was in recently. I don't know if you have any insight on that.
Not recently.
But the only reason, or not the only reason, but the way I found out about him was obviously Spider-Man. We were in grade school, I think, back then, 2002. Yeah, definitely. So, but seeing him in that was pretty crazy. He was just very menacing in that. But him being a good guy kind of changed the pace. It's weird, it's gonna be weird to see him play a good guy in a comic book movie because you know him so well as the Green Goblin in 1 and 2, or 1 and 3, I forget. Yeah, so there's a lot of rumors going around, a lot of obscure characters coming up, obscure names. I think Blue Beetle was one.
Oh.
Maybe not Blue Beetle. Was it Booster Gold? I forget.
Either one wouldn't fit him.
James Corrigan, he's another kind of guy. He's the host for the Spectre. Just a bunch of random, not random, but just obscure, nothing mainstream. So it's just going to be interesting to see where he fits in this. And, I think his acting skills are very special. So I think it's going to be an interesting character to say the least.
Yeah, I think one thing that kind of helps out with, him being recognizable as the Green Goblin is that as the Goblin, he did have that mask on. And, it really was just his voice. We recognize his face as Harry Osborn, but, being that villain part, we never really saw his face.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of helps going forward with, him disappearing into a different role. I thought him being a good guy was the most interesting part, like you said. Just his skill set kind of calls for a bad guy.
Crazy, or just a crazy.
Yeah.
Usually good guys aren't like that, but.
And so I'm literally just thought about it. I could see him as Commissioner Gordon. Really, now that I'm thinking about it, that might have been my first choice. Maybe a more outlandish type Commissioner Gordon.
Which is kind of what Zack Snyder's going for.
Yeah.
This whole storyline.
So I don't know who he's playing. Literally, when I heard it, I immediately thought Martian Manhunter. I thought.
Well, that's what everyone thought, but everyone was or a lot of people were saying they don't think that Warner Brothers would go out of the ethnicity historically with Martian Manhunter.
Well, he's a shapeshifter, so he could be whatever he wanted.
Yeah, but I at least, put him with, he has that accent.
Yeah, when he goes into human form, it's like a black dude, but at least his disguise is Jeff Johns? Not Jeff Jones. John Jones. John Jones, but he can shapeshift to anyone. And I really don't know why I thought Martian Manhunter, but for some reason that literally popped in my head. I kind of see that. Yeah. So I don't think it's that. I think that's a low, 5% chance is that, because they're New 52 all the way. They got Cyborg. I don't think they're gonna bring Cyborg and Martian Manhunter into it. But I think he's just gonna be some government official, operative, some type person.
I don't think that. I think he's gonna be more significant than some official. But I have no idea where to start.
I think he's some Argus member with Amanda Waller or some.
Could be
some task force to deal with the superhumans or whatever they're called.
Oh wait, there was and I forgot his name, but he deals with the metahumans in some way, in some form. It's kind of like Amanda Waller in a way. But yeah, so you kind of hit the nail right in there.
Alright, so next up, as always, Entertainment Weekly drops these pictures from these movies. We got a picture of the Rita Repulsa, played by Elizabeth Banks in the new Power Rangers reboot. So Sal, what'd you think of this picture?
I think she looks awesome. You can kind of tell just by the picture that they are going for a new kind of look for especially for her.
Very new.
Yeah. But I think this kind of precursors what they're going for with this Power Rangers, which is just kind of totally different. But to me, she looks like, and I totally forgot what it is. I'll look it up when you go on your opinion. But it's from Power Rangers Turbo, I think, and I forgot her name. But it looks exactly like her. She's dressed like her. She has the big ponytail just like her. And the nails, I think, are the same thing. So it's not so much Rita Repulsa as it is the other one, which I'll find the name out in a second. But either way, I think she looks really fierce. And I don't know. I mean, so far, I like it. So
I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest.
I'm going to look this up. I'm listening.
It's just so different. I think like you said, they are going for something different, and this it's hard to get a read on this movie because they kind of went with the same names of the characters, which made me think old school, and then they kind of had the same, not the same background, but sort of the same background. So I'm like, okay, so a lot of vibes about this movie is the original Power Rangers show. Mm-hmm. But then you get this, and this looks nothing like Rita, like nothing close. She looks like Poison Ivy meets Princess Leia when she was trapped in the thing, and like, I don't know, it looks complete. I don't. And then Banks was talking about it, and she was like, she's an alien warrior more than kind of alien
ruler.
Yeah, like a witch. Like she was a space witch, kind of like an evil queen. But now she's a warrior. So my only thing is, I remember now. I'm looking at the picture. I remember her.
It was Divatox. So.
Yeah. My only thing is, I'm hoping that this doesn't mean a complete reimagining for the Power Rangers suits, because I was really hoping those would be more like the original, just with an updated sleek look to it. But if it's anything like this, it'll be a radical change. Like, she looks like she's in a plant, like she's in the middle of a plant and it's like eating her. That's what she looks like.
Yeah, I don't think they'll deviate too far from center in terms of the Power Ranger suits. Like you said, more sleek, definitely. But she, like you said, she's her character is kind of reimagined in terms, like you said, she's more of a warrior. So I think that's where they're getting this look from, more so than just the overall change of the universe. So I think they're gonna stay pretty close to the source, because Saban's producing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think. I mean, they have his blessing. So I think whatever he touches is pretty much gold.
Yeah, I mean, now I think about it, like, I guess you have to update it to, like, attract older fans and stuff like that, or, like, newer fans. But I think some parts have to stay the same enough to get the core fans that were fans of the original franchise. So this might be a nice mix of updating and keeping the Power Rangers the same. So hopefully that's the picture I've been waiting for. I mean, it's nice to see what they're going for with Rita, but I've been waiting to see the Power Rangers. I need to see a picture of what they look like. All right, so one of our favorite topics, the Kingsman 2. What is it called? The Golden Circle, I believe, or something like that. Has a new casting. Shannon Tatum is now on board. So not too long ago, we talked about Halle Berry. She was casted, and she's confirmed to be playing the head of the American version of the Kingsmen. I forgot what they're called. And Shannon Tatum is one of the American agents. So in this movie, Etsy or some whatever his name is, Taron Egerton's character goes to America to meet with their Kingsmen, and then Julian Moore is the villain. So what do you think about Shannon Tatum?
Oh, he's good in action films. I like him.
Does this make you more excited looking at this cast kind of come together?
No. The first one didn't do it for me for the most part. I mean, I tried to watch it, and I watched a few parts, were okay, but I didn't really like what is his name, the main character, too much.
Etsy,
yeah. I just didn't connect with him too much. I think that's what it was, but yeah, I'm sure it'll make it good, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
They have not done their job. Sal is still unenthused. And I didn't hate the first one. I think it was just okay. But I would say this casting so far has intrigued me. Not excited me to the point like I'm going to see this movie. But I'm like, okay, Shannon Tatum kind of tells me you're going to get more comedic with this one. Yeah. Halle Berry interests me. And then Julian Moore I love. So I really am more intrigued by these castings, but not still going to see it. All right, so next up is Spider-Man Homecoming. I cannot get used to that title. But Spider-Man Homecoming has added someone to their cast list, and it's someone you might know. Robert Downey Jr. will be appearing as Iron Man in the movie, but with great gain comes great loss.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton has pulled out of the project, and talks broke down, and so he's not in the movie. So Sal, what do you feel?
So we can go first with Keaton. Yeah, I don't know now what they'll do. I mean, there's a bunch of other actors out there, but we were kind of talking about him being Vulture and him being pretty well played for the part. So now, I don't know, maybe they'll change their plans up in terms of storyline, or they're just going to find someone else kind of similar to Keaton. It's pretty disappointing because Keaton's a great actor. He's one of my favorites, so I would have liked to see him in this. But like you said, with great gain comes great loss. But even the opposite of that, great loss comes great gain. Robert Downey Jr. It shows that Marvel and Disney, or not Marvel and Disney, Disney and Sony want to work together. That they want to make money, because that's what's going to happen. It's going to make money for both of them. So it just shows that this wasn't a one-time thing with Spider-Man showing up in Civil War. It shows good faith. So I think everyone's happy for this, especially having Iron Man in it and Robert Downey Jr. in it. He's their biggest star in Marvel right now. So having him do it is going to bring a lot of fans, even just casual fans, to go see that other Spider-Man movie if they weren't going to before. And I know he got a big payday.
Did he?
Because it was not in his contract to do this. So
I'm not even shocked.
Yeah, so he is sitting high on that money mountain right now. So
yeah, with Keaton
and Spider-Man Iron Man suit, or Iron Man Spider-Man suit. I bet you will see that.
Probably, most likely.
Anyways,
so first of all, like I try to say, you know, when we talk about these things, this is a rumor or they're in talks, because a lot of people run with that stuff and just take it as a fact or it's confirmed. In talks is different than being confirmed. A rumor is different than being confirmed. Like with Cate Blanchett as Hela, everybody is just Cate Blanchett as Hela. Oh, in that movie you got Mark Ruffalo, you got Cate Blanchett. Cate Blanchett has not signed anything. Marvel, Disney has not confirmed her. She's been in talks. We all know that. We heard from different people, but she has not been confirmed. And so when Michael Keaton has just, yeah, Michael Keaton's in this movie, this makes it good. Like, we can speculate and, you know, talk about what we think it fits, but we've never said, like, okay, that's confirmed. Like, confirmed is a very different thing. So to throw that out there, because this is exactly why. Everyone's just like, yeah, Michael Keaton's Vulture, and, you know, it's like, no, okay, now Mike Keaton's not even in the movie. So please be careful with people that say stuff is actually happening without any confirmation. Until, like, the actor, the agent, or, like, the studio confirm it, then it's not there. But that's a sad loss. That's a sad loss, especially if they continue to do Vulture. Like I said last episode, I am not a fan of Vulture, but if it was Michael Keaton, I would have been excited to see that. Now it's not Michael Keaton, so I'm sure there's another great actor you could get.
Yeah.
But until I see who it is, I don't know. Iron Man, not surprising. When they first did the Sony Marvel deal, one of the things they mentioned was that Iron Man and Captain America would be featured in the first standalone Spider-Man movie. So this isn't a real shock to me. I think pretty soon we'll hear that Chris Evans will be signed on for that movie as well, which is one of the reasons I was not excited for Civil War starting out. Even though we know Infinity Wars is coming and they're going to make up, but also I'm like, okay, well, if they're in the movie together, they clearly like made up and they clearly didn't die. Like, everyone's trying to build up Civil War as this, you know, the stakes are high. And I'm like, well, clearly not. Down the road, they're going to end up together messing with Spider-Man. So that was one of the reasons. I've changed my mind since then, but that was one of the reasons. So I knew about this for a while. But yeah, like you said, it wasn't part of their contracts. But of course, they got them signed now, so now it's official. So do you think it's a cameo? Do you think it's an appearance or a starring Iron Man and Captain America?
I think it's more of an appearance. I think he'll be there, say, percentage-wise, he'll probably be in about 20-25%. I think he'll definitely have, like, at least 2 or 3, you know, moderate scenes. I think he's more of a mentor to Spider-Man in this kind of universe. So I think that is important to relay. I don't think it can just be done in a cameo or anything like that. Depending on what they want to pay the man and how long he's on the screen is up to them. And we'll see it when we see it, or we'll see it when we see the news about it. So yeah, not too much, not too little.
Does this make you more excited for the movie?
Yeah, it does. I like to see that crossover, and everyone's been dying for it since, Spider-Man came out in 2002 or whatever it was. So it's exciting time for Marvel and for Sony, and I think they'll for Infinity Wars and stuff, they'll be a really big time. Spider-Man can make it into those.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Iron Man is clearly going to be the chaperone at Homecoming, and to keep the kids in line, he's going to be in there in his suit. Hey, stop dancing! He turns on his poster array. Like, this is going to be the craziest Homecoming we've ever seen. Like, Marvel's going all out for this high school flick. I'm excited. All right, so before we end our show, there's one thing I wanted to talk about. There's a draft coming. Head to head, me versus Sal, this Wednesday. You'll be looking out for that video. We put a lot of work into it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, check it out. Team Sal, Team Terry.
I think we'll have new names by then. But
yeah, Mega. I don't know. I can't even think of anything. But we're drafting eight heroes per team. Who has the best squad? Who put the best squad together that can go out there and handle things? I'm excited. I'm really excited. So be sure to check that out. If you like what you heard, please give us the ammo by clicking the subscribe button below. Sal, thank you for today. Where can people find us?
You can find us on Twitter at The Cannon Vlog, or on Facebook, facebook.com/The Cannon.
And you can find me at the NFL Draft this Thursday. I'm your host, Terry. And remember, if you heard it here today, it's Cannon. I am not sold on Amanda Waller, Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. But I think that's just because we haven't seen a lot of her.
Yeah.
But what I've seen, I'm not sold yet. I really have high hopes for her. And I said it before, I'm not sold on Harley Quinn.